Well, hi there everyone, welcome back to Map Italia and to my 30-day challenge. We're on day 2. As you can see, the time is just coming up to 20 past 6 in the morning. Sun's just coming up over the hill over there. And just a quick recap on where we got to yesterday. So it was kind of our first day. We got our farmyard purchased, which is back behind me up over the hill. We purchased the grass field here. We took the grass off it, made a little bit of money and managed to get it subsoiled as well, and finished up around about 11:30 p.m. last night. So we've had about 6 hours worth of sleep. We're back down here in the morning, and my next task really is getting the field drilled. Now we're going to put soybeans in because they're fetching a fairly decent price. So that's the one of the first jobs that I need to do today. Now, as I mentioned in the last episode, we've got a fairly kind of tall order to meet. We've got to purchase that big farm in 30 days, and that's going to cost us 2.1 million euros. Now, in order to be able to do that, I've roughly got to make about 75,000 euros per day. So I've been having a good look at the contracts, and the plan is that I need to try and take on as many contracts as I can. And there's quite a few harvesting contracts out there, but they're fairly sort of small value, most of them. There's a few that are on the larger side, but most of them are fairly small, and I'm not really sure what sort of level of harvest income we will get from them as well. So now some of these sort of disappeared fairly quickly yesterday, so I've taken on a few. So field 2 harvesting, we've got field 6 and field 20, so I've accepted those already, and I need to go off to the shop and look for a suitable combine. Now, I was going to borrow items, but I did do a little bit of a test earlier and kind of came across a bit of a problem. The actual storefront at the shop is not big enough to accept all of the borrowed items, so it's quite narrow, as you can see here, not particularly big. So when I did do a contract to borrow items, all that I got was the combine header and the header trailer. I didn't get any tractor and I didn't get any trailer either. Now, I did try and do the store deliveries where I had the items delivered to the actual field, and what happened then was that some of the items got delivered to the store here and some of them got delivered to the field, which was going to be a bit of a pain. So what I've decided to do is that I'm going to lease a combine, because I would have needed one anyway, and I'm then going to be able to kind of do the contracts based on that. But the only restriction is I'm only going to be able to do one contract at a time, and I was hoping that I might be able to do more than that. Now, I could, of course, lease a second combine, but that's only going to burn into my budget a little bit. So I've been having a little look around for some cheap combines on various different mod sites, and I did come across this New Holland TX65 Plus. So it's sort of an upgraded version of the TX32 standard one that's in the game. So I'm going to go ahead and lease this because it's pretty cheap. It was only 1,387 euros. Then I also need to get the header for it as well. Now, this is a 6.1 metre header, so it's a reasonable size for the size of the combine. Now, I do have the working speed mod installed as well, so I'm going to bump that up to 15 kph. Get that leased as well. That's only 612 euros, and then I need to get the header trailer sorted as well. So the overall cost for all 3 items has just come out 2,162, and I think if I'd have borrowed the equipment for each of those 3 contracts, it would have been around about 2,700 euros of kind of income lost. So I'm kind of just slightly ahead of things at the moment. Right, I'm going to get this taken down to field 20 to start off with, and I think I'm just going to have to see how things progress. But if I do start to run out of time, and time is of the essence with this challenge, I need to earn as much money as quickly as I possibly can. So if I do start to struggle a little bit and run out of time, then I might have to lease a second combine. But as I mentioned, that is going to cut into my budget a little bit, and there are some other items of equipment that I need to purchase as well. So we'll just have to see how things kind of get on during the course of the day. Right, well, I'm down at the field. I've just cut into the field a little bit, and I'm using course play, so I'm going to set up the course here, just make sure that I have got the correct field listed, and then just do the various settings. I think everything is okay here. We're going to go probably 4 times around the headland, I think, and that should kind of be okay before we start doing the land work. So I'll just generate the field course here, and then I can get the combine underway, and then once I've sorted him out, I need to go and get a trailer sorted as well, bring that back to the field. And then I can kind of go over to our own grass field and to get the drill underway as well, so that starts seeding that field. I'm hoping that we can kind of rattle through these contracts fairly quickly. I must admit I haven't played at sort of ×5 speed as a consistent thing for quite some time. I kind of normally toggle between sort of 1 and ×5, and the time does rattle by quite quickly. So we'll hopefully see how we get on. And I was a bit disappointed obviously that we weren't able to borrow items, because I was really hoping that we might be able to do multiple sort of contracts, harvest contracts at the same time. So I have sort of bumped up the speed with this header up to that 15 kilometers an hour, just to help us out a little bit. And I did also make a tweak in the XML files for the combine. I boosted the grain tank capacity from 8,000 litres up to 10,000 litres as well, just to help us out a little bit. So I'm going to crack on with this, see how we get on. I need to nip off down the shop, get a trailer sorted out, and then we'll be able to go from there. Now, we seem to be having nothing but problems today. As I went down to the shop to get a trailer organised, I'd seen something that was on the mod hub that caught my eye, and that was this Lizard NS900H trailer. Now, this could go up to a capacity of 20,000 litres, which I thought was kind of pretty decent, but I leased it, took it out to the field, and the combine didn't recognise it as a trailer. I'm not 100% sure why, whether there's a bit of a mod conflict between the combine and the trailer. I'm not 100% sure. So anyway, I ended up returning this one, and in the end I went for this Metal Tech TS 14,000, but with the 19,000 litre capacity. Again, I did that as a second-hand item, and I leased that, so it was only €785 as an initial leasing cost. So not too expensive, and nice kind of Italian colours as well, so that kind of worked out. So we managed to get that out to the field, and then I encountered another problem. So I went to get the drill underway using Courseplay as well, and as you remember, I had to define the field perimeter yesterday when we kind of purchased this field, because it's not designated an actual field number within the map. So I had to define the field perimeter, but that seemed to be absolutely fine yesterday when I was doing the subsoiling, but I could not get Courseplay to accept course generation for drilling with this drill. Now, again, I don't know if it's a bit of a mod conflict with the Kverneling drill, not really sure, but in the end I kind of gave up, and I'm doing the headland myself. So I'm probably going to go 3 or 4 times around the headland. I might have to stop at some point and go and empty the trailer when it's full of grain, but at the moment I should get sort of probably 2 or 3 times around this headland, hopefully. Now, the grand plan, well, the one thing I have noticed is that the crops seem to be kind of turning fairly quickly, so I'm hoping that once I've got this drilled, it might be ready to harvest on day 3, which would be a big bonus. Now, I've probably got to get a sprayer at some point, because I'm sure we'll have some weeds come up, and I think it's 50% fertilised at the moment, but I'll probably have to have another application of fertiliser to get the maximum yield out of it. But hopefully I'll have time to deal with that tomorrow before it then gets ready for harvesting. So I'm going to crack on with this. As soon as the trailer is full from the combine, then I'll take that to the selling point, and then we'll carry on doing these harvest contracts. And once I've done this headland, I can of course just get a regular helper on to do this, finish this field. I suspect that I didn't fill the drill up completely, but I suspect I won't have enough seed with one single bag to be able to do the whole field, so I might have to go and get another one at some point as well. And sorry, I did start talking about the grand plan. So my sort of plan today really is to try and do as many harvest contracts as I can. And we started the day around about €20,000. I want to try and boost that up close to sort of, I don't know, 65, 70,000 if I can. And then ideally, I want to try and earn enough money to be able to purchase another field. Obviously, we're going to make much more money off land that we own rather than just doing sort of contracts or even leasing fields or something like that. Now, field 26, which is just kind of over the other track, so over towards the sort of left-hand side from where I am, just below the main kind of farm, is 78,000. So I'm hoping that sort of fairly soon I should be able to purchase that field, and then possibly field 25 after that, which is 127,000. So that's kind of the aim. But I've got no idea how we're going to get on, and I've got no idea how these harvest contracts are going to yield and what additional income we might get through harvest income from those as well. Right, well, we've got our first trailer full of soybeans to take up to the selling point. Now, this one is the Molino Santa Lucia. which is up near the main town. So a little bit of a trek to get up there. I think probably the grain cart is going to take a little bit of time because little old country roads and things like that to go down. So I'm just going to drop this off and hopefully, well, certainly give us a good indication of what sort of harvest income we can probably expect. And then, like I said beforehand, I've got no idea really how much extra money we kind of will earn from doing these harvest contracts. I'm hoping it's going to be sort of fairly reasonable. It does seem to change definitely sort of map to map. So there we go, 37% transported. So that doesn't seem too bad. Well, I had to stop drilling the headland so I could take that first trailer load of soybeans up to the selling point. But I'm back in now, just finishing off third time round the headland. I've got one more time to go and then I'll be able to get a helper in here. And the combine seems to be getting on okay doing that harvest contract over the road in field 20. So this is our second load up to the selling point, and it should be another 37%. So hopefully this will give us 74% completed on the contract, and if that is the case, I'm not sure whether we'll then get another full trailer out of it or whatever, but we'll have yeah, there you go, 74%. So we've got 26% left to fulfill the contract. So I'm really hoping that we will make some decent money on this field. So we're almost finished here. Just got this last little strip to finish off, as you can see. Now the trailer's had one full tank into it, and the combine's not full at the moment, so I don't think we're going to get a full 19,000 litres off this. But the contract should be completing fairly soon, actually. So I'm hoping, yeah, we should make some sort of decent money off this, but we'll have to kind of wait and see. Then after this, we are going to do field 2. Then I also took on the contract for field 17 as well, which is kind of just the other side of the road to field 2. So we'll go and do that one, and then we'll finish it with field 6. And I'm hoping, although time is kind of marching by, that we will be able to get all 4 of these contracts done today. Right, well that's field 20 done. I'm starting to move the combine down to do the second field, field 2 here, which you can see just behind the combine. So I'm going to get this started before I take the last lot of soybeans back up to the selling point. Now time is marching on. It's already coming up to 10 to 2 in the afternoon, so I think it's going to be another long day. Right, I'm going to get the header picked up and we'll get into this field, and then we'll see how well we did on that first contract. But the combine's underway. I'm using Courseplay again, of course, and so he's cracking on with the headland, so I'm going to leave him to do this. I'm going to go back and pick the tractor and trailer up, take that last lot of soybeans up to the selling point, and then we'll be able to see what sort of harvest income we managed to get in addition to the actual contract value. Right, so in the end, for field 20 contract, we made an extra €16,512 for harvest income, in addition to the €11,221 for the actual contract itself. So a good €27,500 in total, which was fantastic. Now, as you can see, we are getting on pretty well with the drilling up here in our grass field. We've almost finished, just got this last little corner to do. And as you can see, the weeds have started to pop up as well. So one of the jobs that we're going to have to do tomorrow on day 3 is get a little sprayer, I think, and get these weeds sprayed off. Now, as I mentioned beforehand, we do have 50% fertilised for this field. Now, it did need liming as well, which I didn't get around to doing, so we'll have to do that next time. But the fields seem to be kind of turning fairly quickly through their growth stages, so I would reckon this will probably be up for harvesting tomorrow. Okay, so we've finished the drilling in that field now. I won't do anything else with that Fiat tractor today. I'm going to focus and concentrate on getting these harvest contracts done. Now, I've turned the HUD off, but it was coming up to 3:30 in the afternoon. So this is only our second field, and as you can see, we're only on the second time around the actual headline. So I think we're going to be harvesting kind of well into the evening, and it wouldn't surprise me if we probably end up going past midnight. Not sure yet, but we'll have to wait and see. We've still got field 17 to do, which is just the other side of the road here, or kind of you can access it by going under that bridge, and then we'll finish up with doing field 6. Now, one of the unique things about this field, something that's slightly different, is the selling point for this contract is IFO rail. Now that means I've got to take the grain and deposit it into the actual train, and then I've got to take the train round to the IFO sell point, which is kind of over on the west side of the map. There's a roadside sell point and a rail sell point for that, but I've got to take it to the rail one. Right, well, it's just coming up to 10 past 6 in the evening. This is our second full trailer that we're bringing up here. Now, this is IFE kind of rail station on the side of the road here, and as you can see, there are kind of two drop points. One is an actual selling point, and then the one that's towards the bottom of the picture is the actual transfer point, kind of into a storage silo, which you can then subsequently transfer into the train itself. So once you've got all the crop in here, you can jump in the train. You can then fill the one of the two containers there that you can see for the train itself, and then once they're full, once you've got your crop in there, you can then drive around to the relevant selling point and empty out into that selling point, which we'll have a little look at once we've completed the field. Right, well, this is our last load, not quite a full trailer as you can see. So once I've emptied this in, I'm going to transfer everything over to the train, and then I'll be able to jump in the train and get that taken round to IFO. If you are playing on this map, or if you haven't started playing on this map and you want to, then when you do get to the actual selling point here, the IFO selling point over, which is over on the west side of the map, you will see that there is a dedicated sell point on the railway tracks for the train itself. So we're just emptying out here, as you can see, and there we go, contract on field 2 has finished. So just hang on here and see how much additional harvest income we've made. Okay, 13,209, so that's pretty good, in addition to the contract value as well, so pretty pleased with that. So we've moved over to field 17 now. We're probably about, I don't know, 40% through it, or maybe half the way through it. But these harvest contracts do seem to be yielding fairly well in terms of harvest income. So I'm quite pleased with that, because I was a little bit worried. I know on some maps you can kind of only get maybe 50-60% of the contract value as additional harvest income, but these seem to be yielding much better than that, so that's good. So I'm going to crack on with this. We're obviously harvesting in the dark now, which doesn't make for particularly good viewing. So I think I'm going to leave the video here. So thanks very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, enjoying the series, then do give it a thumbs up, and please leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and any ideas of how I can make some good money and try and hit that target of 2.1 million in 30 days, then leave your comments down below. It'd be really helpful. Thanks very much for watching. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, stay safe, take care, and I will catch you on Map Italia next time. Bye for now.